I want to start off by saying the Rick and Morty anime is actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I wasn't actually going in with any sort of expectations or anything like that, but it's pretty good. And if you guys have watched the first episode, if not, go watch it, then you can come back and watch this. But there's a couple of concepts, and I'm going to make 2 videos on this just because I want to, and I think that it's a little bit better. I could combine it into one video, but I figure I'll just make it in a tube just for the hell of it, because why not? But basically, so like what we can see in the thumbnail that I end up using is like Morty is playing a video game, which you're also playing a video game. The video game that you're playing is the game of life. You might not necessarily know that it's a video game because reality plays this trick on us that makes us believe that like we are not in control of the game that we are playing, yet all life is a game. It's why when we're children, we play games. It's why when we grow up, we still want to play games like board games, any sort of game, because like all the world is in your reality right now is a game that you can change dimensions, and you can go from one place to another place if that is what you so desire. And then you have to decide on whether or not this is the place that you want to stay, but you have to choose one and stick with it for as long as you possibly can. Then once you're ready, you can be like, all right, I'm going to jump to a different one, or I'm going to jump to a different one. There's other movies around the same topic, and you can see this all in like the whole Marvel universe and all this other stuff that's going on right now, because there's multiple different universes, different places that you can go to. You have to make the decision on where you want to go. One of the great movies that I highly recommend, Everything Everywhere All at Once, gives this example perfectly, and I highly recommend it. Rick and Morty does it the same way as well too. They do it in a different concept or a different means, where it's like they're going from, this is the reality that I am in. Once I go here, because this reality is busted, they go to that other reality. They aren't actually changing places with that person. They're just jumping realities. But you can also change places with that person if you really wanted to and become that person. It's a whole thing with quantum mechanics and quantum physics and like the esoteric stuff, which may be a little bit confusing, may not be a little bit confusing, but that's just kind of where it's at. Like you can go wherever you want to within your own mind. It's why you see the replay within the first episode of Rick and Morty, the anime, multiple different times, because it's like first time he's eating, and then all of a sudden he's not eating, and like you get this rewind effect, and then you get him with Ellie, which that's a little sneak peek of what the next video is going to be about around Ellie and true love. So if you want to see that, sub to the channel right now, completely free, click of a button. And through that, like you're able to see that Morty goes through different timelines. Even though it seems like he's the same, his suit changes, obviously, because that's our way of being able to identify, oh, okay, this is a different reality, this is a different time zone. But even Rick says that within the episode as well too, where he's just like, we have all these different realities that we can go to, and that's the biggest illusion that we're faced with, is like we feel like we aren't playing a game, but we are playing a game. It's crazy. You've seen this in other episodes of Rick and Morty as well too, where it's like you have the game of Roy, where I've talked about this beforehand. You go into this different reality, you think it's your actual life, but like once you wake up, it's like, oh wait, hold on, I'm not Roy, I'm Morty. Wait, you sold a gun to an assassin. And it's one of those exact same things. It's like once you wake up, you're like, wait, am I actually who I think I am, or am I somebody else? Because who are you really? Are you really the person that's watching this video right now, or are you somebody else? Like, you got to think about these things. It's things that I think about all the time, because who are you truly? Because you can be anybody that you want to be. You can play any game that you want to play. You can create the rules that you want to create. You don't have to create the rules that other people have told you to create. You can create the rules that you yourself find valuable and exciting and whatever it may be. Those are the rules that you can live by and that you can create. Just as Morty is teaching Rick, Rick is teaching Morty, and then they're trying to save each other, and it's a whole process. It's a whole game. But that's the thing, is once you understand that you're in a game, things become a whole lot different. Just keep that in mind. And I'm actually going to do another video, because this video just kind of sparked another idea from Sword Art Online. I don't know if you've watched Sword Art Online, but that was another game that just kind of like sparked something else within me. So I'm going to make that as well too, because we're all just kind of like playing a virtual reality game, even though we don't necessarily know we're playing a virtual reality game until we put on like the virtual reality headset. Then it's like, oh, I'm playing a virtual reality game. But that's not the case, because for all you know, and I'll use this and we'll wrap up the video right after this, for all you know, there's dreams that you have that feel so real that you think that is where you were. And then you wake up and you're like, oh, this is the real world. But what if those dreams that you were having was actually the real world? I want you to think about that. Think about that intensely. Or just put it in the back of your mind and let your mind do the work on what it needs to do. But like, you think that this is real, which very well could be. I'm not telling you that it isn't real. I'm telling you just to open your mind and think of like, what is reality? Because reality is subjective to each and every single individual person with wherever they're at in their life right now. So when you think about those things, how do you know that you aren't just playing a virtual reality game right now with the headset on, and you believe that this is real and that you are this person, that you're playing? How do you know that? Just think about that. I'll leave you with that.